A warm welcome to WADR's gender program 50/50, broadcasting from West Africa Democracy Radio on 94.9 FM in Dakar, Senegal. We are also live on Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County, Liberia, Nuimi FM in the Gambia, and The Voice of Liberia, which airs on 104.1 FM in Monrovia and 89.7 FM in Kakata, Margibi County. Join us not only locally, but also globally on WADR.org, connecting with audiences around the world. My name is Nadidi Teti, and I am the host of the program. On 50/50, we engage in conversations about gender equality, equity, and fostering equal opportunities for both men and women. Join us as we explore ways to cultivate a more inclusive and women-friendly environment. Additionally, we delve into various social issues, examining the unique perspectives and impacts experienced by both men and women in response to these challenges. It's the last edition of 50/50 for the year 2023. Wow, so soon. Well, and today being the last edition of the month as well, you know we are going to spend some time with our Woman of the Month. An interview with a woman who has carved a path for herself, is impacting communities, defying the odds, and emerging successful.
Ambition, strength, perseverance, inspiration. Woman of the Month is live on 50/50 now.
My guest for today is Kuorkor Mayne Eghan, founder of Ghana's foremost preterm babies NGO, the J Foundation. She has set out on a mission to help mothers of preterm babies navigate the meandering paths of raising a preterm baby.
Taking care of them is going to be expensive and draining and time consuming, but they turn out to be miracles. There are times that we have been told that babies have been mummified, and babies are not wanted at home. So there are some parents that say that if you have a preterm baby, then you have witchcraft. So then the mother and the baby are abandoned. We had one incident at Keita where the mother had to live in the hospital with the baby because they said the baby was too tiny. She was 0.5 kg. Yes. And eventually we had to engage the family and the father.
Let me hear your thoughts on this via our WhatsApp number +221 7818 45421. The number again is +221 7818 45421. You can also leave a comment on our various social media handles. Remember to follow our discussions on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram as well at WADR News. On Facebook, we are West Africa Democracy Radio English Service, and online at WADR.org. Please remember to begin your message with the hashtag 50/50. Welcome once again to 50/50 with me, Nadidi Teti, on WADR. Premature birth is a significant global health issue affecting millions of infants every year. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, an estimated 15 million babies are born prematurely annually, accounting for about 1 in 10 births worldwide. These early arrivals, born before completing 37 weeks of gestation, face various challenges and potential health complications that can profoundly impact their lives. From respiratory problems to developmental delays, the journey of a preterm baby is often marked by hurdles requiring specialized care and support. Understanding the complexities and implications of preterm birth is crucial in improving outcomes and ensuring a healthier start for these resilient infants. A pilot who was born preterm speaks of the challenges of being preterm and how his family helped him through it. He also emphasizes that being born preterm is not a death sentence.
My name is Philip Elomensa, a husband, a successful pilot, and I was born preterm. My story began when I was in nursery school. I didn't know I was born preterm, so I thought I was a normal child, and going to school and all that. But I found out that things weren't going as planned as the way I wanted it. And what happened was that I realized that I wasn't concentrating much in school. I was failing exams. Things weren't working out for me like a normal child. I could tell the difference because my reactions in class was different from theirs. And knowing that I wasn't born preterm, it was kind of like hard to find out back then. At this point, I went to 13. I went to University Primary School, went to various schools actually, New Nation. I went to GIS. I went to various schools just trying to find my feet because I just wasn't passing exams. I wasn't getting straight to things. Just to find out that later on in life, when I was like 15, 16, I was born preterm. And knowing that kind of like was a bit of a challenge to me, and also both an encouragement and also a challenge, because you see my friends mocking at me that I am this, I am that, and I'm not smart, and I was always the last in class, not knowing what the situation was, because I used to pay attention a lot in class and everything, and then at the end of the day, it still doesn't work out for me with my exams. So it was kind of like a tough thing. I had to now get teachers to come home. I had to get tutors. I had to stay as late as 7 p.m. actually in school, just to make sure that I had the knowledge and things. But it still didn't work out well until my parents really helped and encouraged me a lot. My encouragement to preterm babies or children who are born, my encouragement to them is I'm a preterm. And knowing that I'm a preterm, things didn't really fall in place like the way I wanted it, especially when I was born. I always say that my father always told me this when I was very young, that you cannot determine how you are born, you cannot determine how you die. You can only determine how your journey of your process is. And knowing that I was born preterm, the only option I had was to know how to encourage myself along the journey of life. And today, I'm a successful pilot. I was encouraged by many. I know you are not encouraged. Some of you aren't, some of you are. Whatever the case is, it's a blessing when you have parents who encourage. Those who don't have parents who encourage themselves, I'm just praying that you will find the right source, the right information to be encouraged. Knowing that I was also preterm, the challenges regarding my education and all that definitely would come, but you shouldn't give up.
Philip Mensah sharing with us his experience of being born a preterm baby. That ushers us into our discussion for today. My guest is Kuorkor Mayne Eghan, founder of Ghana's foremost preterm babies NGO, the J Foundation. Her experience as a mother who delivered a set of twins preterm motivated her to set up the NGO to support mothers in such situations because it's a tough journey. Since 2019, Kuorkor Mayne Eghan and the J Foundation have made several donations to the neonatal intensive care units of close to 10 government hospitals in the country, including the Tema General Hospital, Insawam Hospital, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Shai Osudoku District Hospital, Keta Hospital, amongst others. When I sat down with her, my first question I asked was for her to help us appreciate the phenomenon of babies being born preterm.
Okay, so a preterm baby is a baby born before 37 weeks.
Okay.
So the normal term for every mother or every pregnant woman is 40 weeks. So if the baby comes before 37 weeks.
So 40 weeks?
Yes. Basically, yeah, that's the calculation,
okay.
40 weeks. So if you come before 37 weeks, you are termed preterm.
Okay.
But they have different categories. So they have the babies that, they have the very, very preterm, they have the extreme preterm, and then they have the normal preterm. So the normal preterm is between 32 and 36 weeks. Those babies are just, their lungs are formed, they are okay, it's just that they're struggling to breathe a little bit and they need some warmth to get, or they're in the fattening period.
Okay, is that where the kangaroo
mother care is critical? Yeah, the skin to skin thing. And then they have the very preterm where the lungs haven't formed yet, they're very skinny, they need a lot of support to thrive. And then we have the extreme preterm, that's between 24 weeks, so now it's gone way back to 24.
Yes.
So the survivors first, when babies are born at 24 weeks, they don't make it, but these days 24, even 23 weeks, they make it with some critical conditions. But yes, so between 24 and 28 you have the extreme, and then very between 28 and 32. And all these babies need the skin to skin, they need the warmth, they need to be in incubators, they need to be given oxygen to thrive. Yes.
And how prevalent is it?
Okay, so it's very, very common. You know, the thing about prematurity is that it springs a surprise on you. So you're pregnant, you're fine. The doctors will tell you there's no definite reason why you can have your baby preterm. Mostly when you are carrying multiples like twins or triplets or more babies in your womb, it's likely that the babies will come early. You can't go the full term. But most of the time it springs a surprise on you. And so we have more mothers now having preterm babies than before. During the year of COVID, we had lots of parents having, or a lot of pregnant women having their babies come early. So it's now more prevalent, and we would have to create awareness and let mothers know that if you have your babies early, it's all right, and they can survive with the care they need. If they get the care they need and the love, they will survive. If you've had a baby before, you've gotten closer to preterm babies, you realize that it's the small things that make them thrive.
So that's why
they have small actions, big impacts. I'm not saying buying incubators and other things are not important, but you can, if you don't have an incubator and you put your baby on your chest, skin to skin, the baby will thrive. It's the small things, the little love, the cleanliness. So for the J Foundation, we've taken it upon ourselves to encourage mothers to do the skin to skin, not only mothers. So we have KMC and KFC. So we're encouraging the fathers too, because in the instance where the mother is no more, the father has to take up
that responsibility.
Exactly. And so we're encouraging KMC, and then we encouraging cleanliness, because what kills these babies most is infection. So it's just the small things.
So they're very delicate at that stage.
They're very delicate. The slightest thing, the slightest thing will take them away. So it's just the small things. No neglect. We want to focus on the small actions, because the small action, little drops of water
makes a mighty ocean.
So the small things that you do, the love, the care, taking good care of yourself, being clean, showing concern. Most of the mothers are scared of their own babies, so.
Because at that stage they are very delicate, and
but that's when the baby needs you. Yes, so we are encouraging mothers to be bold, to take that step. Mostly skin to skin. Put your baby close to you, and the baby will thrive. And we want to do this everywhere. And every baby needs this.
Every baby needs it.
Yes.
And I want to know whether you have to be the mother of the baby at all costs to do the skin to skin.
Well, it's normally recommended, yes, that the mother does it, because the babies, when they are used to you. They know how you. I'm sure they know, they know everything about you. They know your voice, they know how you smell. So when they are out early and you put them close to you or you talk, they know that that's still my mom. In the case where the mothers are not available or they are ill or anything, sometimes you go to the hospitals and the nurses are doing the skin to skin. We want to encourage the daddies too, because the daddies are mostly closer to the mom. So I'm sure whilst the daddy is always yelling and talking at home, the baby would know that, I have a daddy around. Yes. So we're encouraging the men to also do the skin to skin. Anyone at all can do it. I sometimes go to the hospital and I carry these babies and I do the skin to skin. And we want to encourage everyone to do that.
And what is that thing that inspired you to set up the J Foundation, which focuses on preterm babies?
So I had preterm babies. And
preterm babies, so it means are not once.
Yeah, two. No, I had twins.
You had twins.
So and I have some members in my team who also had preterm babies. Their babies came early. And so we decided to, after going through what we went through, we realized that we would have to support other mothers out there, let them know that some of us, who went through worse situations, but we are here today to support them. I lost one twin, and one is survived. She's great, and they do well when you take good care of them. They're amazing. We call them miracle babies. So we will want to encourage all mothers out there having preterm babies to know that they have miracles in their house or houses.
And you talked about the experience you went through. I'm so sorry that you have to share that with me. That is, if you are comfortable. I'm sure before then you really did not have a fair idea of what it entailed, or you did?
No,
you didn't.
Well, I've heard of preterm babies, and in this side of our world, we have this perception that if you don't take good care of yourself, or if you have any family members on your case or anything, then you have your babies early and they might not thrive. So, I never thought about that. I never thought I'll have preterm babies, but it happened.
It happened.
Yes, it happened really early. So my water broke at 26 weeks. I actually thought that I would lose the kids. Yes, so it's a whole experience. You go through a lot of emotional trauma, and then there's the financial aspects, and there's the support that you need from family and everything. So for mothers going through that, we want them to be encouraged. So for the J Foundation, we have a counseling team that speaks to them. There are some mothers that have triplets and they lose 2 and it's left to 1. You need to encourage her that one will thrive. She doesn't have to break down. She needs to show that baby love so that baby will thrive. And that's where the J Foundation comes in. So we encourage the mothers. We let them know that, yes, you lost 2. Don't grieve too much over the 2. Let's concentrate on the one.
There is hope.
There's hope for the future. And then we have some mothers who are not financially sound to go through buying oxygen, paying for medication and all that. So mostly we are there for them. We go to the hospitals randomly to pay for medical bills. And so our experience, or the experience that we went through, it gives you the hope. And mostly when you're speaking to these mothers, you eventually understand what they are going through, and they can relate. They can open up to you and tell you their fears, and you can give them some assurance that there's hope for the future.
Stay tuned. Your gender program 50/50 will be right back. And we are back. This is 50/50.
Ambition, strength, perseverance, inspiration. Woman of the Month is live on 50/50 now.
You're still listening to Woman of the Month on WADR's gender program 50/50, broadcasting from West Africa Democracy Radio on 94.9 FM in Dakar, Senegal. We are also live on Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County, Liberia, Nuimi FM in the Gambia, and The Voice of Liberia, which airs on 104.1 FM in Monrovia and 89.7 FM in Kakata Margibi County. You can equally listen to us on WADR.org. I'm still here with Kuorkor Mayne Eghan, the founder of the J Foundation, Ghana's foremost preterm babies NGO. Now, in Ghana, there are many stories of people attributing superstition to preterm babies. Some attempt to abandon the babies, and in the worst instances also attempt or kill the babies. What forms do your outreach and support take?
When we started, we had to do some assessment, needs assessment, go to visit the hospital, see what the situation is like. And so in 2018 we went round. In 2019 we decided that we're going to start work fully. We started with educational talks because we realized that people didn't know about it. So during antenatal, when the ladies come or the mothers come for the antenatals, we speak to them about eating well, not stressing themselves during pregnancy, all the things. If your baby comes, and we show them a preterm baby and a mother, what you need to do to ensure that your baby thrives and everything. So we started with educational talks. We have an educational documentary out there. we visit the hospitals because that's where we can find these mothers. So hospitals that have neonatal intensive care units, we visit there. So we've been to Kolebu, we've been to over 10 hospitals, Shayo Sudoku, Tema General, we've been to Ho, we've been to several hospitals, and we've been to Cape Coast. We when you go there, that's where you find the mothers in the kangaroo mother care unit, and then you find most of the mothers and the babies and at the NICUs too. And that's when you can address their needs properly. We visit the communities sometimes, but we only do that when there's a stigma attached, and then maybe a family has been asked and they don't want to see the baby and mother again. That's when we go and then we go and engage them and speak to them. But mostly we work with the hospitals, the neonatal intensive care units.
And what are some of the bizarre stories you've heard about, how a mother will end up with a preterm baby?
So I just want to say this: most of the preterm babies are abandoned in the hospital. So that's how bizarre it is. Yes.
You abandon the babies?
Yes, we have. When you go to Kolebu, you see some babies that have been abandoned. The mothers, the parents will say they don't want to deal with them because they have this feeling that they would turn out to be sick in the future, or they would bring them a lot of cost. Taking care of them is going to be expensive and draining and time consuming. But they turn out to be miracles. There are times that we have been told that babies have been mummified, and babies are not wanted at home. So there are some parents that say that if you have a preterm baby, then you have witchcraft. So then the mother and the baby are abandoned. We had one incident at Keita where the mother had to live in the hospital with the baby because they said the baby was too tiny. She was 0.5 kg. Yes. And eventually we had to engage the family and the father over a period of time before he accepted
sensitized them and everything.
That this baby is here to stay. The baby will be fine. It's no fault of the mom. There's no witchcraft anywhere. It's just a medical pitch,
Yeah.
So, and there's this stigma out there that preterm babies might not survive or they don't, they end up being a burden. It's not true. It's not. It's far from the truth. During the stage where they are babies, between 0 to 6 months, the love and care that you show the baby will determine how the baby will grow.
Turn out.
Yes. So we have babies who are thriving now. When I go on air anytime to talk about this, people say we want to see the babies. Bring them. If they are grown, let us see them. We have some that are doctors and pilots now. So if you visit our YouTube page, we have a pilot and a doctor who is now working at a NICU, taking care of babies at Keita, who will tell you his story that he was born at Tema General, 28 weeks. But he's fine now. He's a doctor. So we have survival, we have success stories. And want to encourage mothers out there that a baby is a baby. Whether they come early or they come late, they'll thrive.
You kept saying we. I wanted to know what the we entails.
Okay, so I have a team that we work with. We are a team of 15 parents.
Okay.
Yes.
15 parents.
Yes, please.
So does it mean that you all have experiences with preterm babies?
Well, we are kind of all related. So we have a number of people that have had experiences with preterm babies, and so most of my directors and members know about prematurity.
Okay.
Yes. And normally what we also do is we support the doctors and nurses. So we actually give them a day off on that day. We do all the work. So if they have to weigh the babies and clean them, we change all their diapers and do that for them. Last year we did that, and we are working around to do that this year as well. We let the doctors and nurses know because they stand on their feet 24/7. Because these babies, you have to give them a lot of attention. And we want them to know that we really appreciate them, the work that they do. We know they've been asking for more staff. Unfortunately, we are getting more of them to leave the country because of the current hardships. But we want God to keep on blessing them for the love and care that they show these babies.
Okay, so when you are not with the J Foundation, what do you do?
Okay, so when I'm not with the J Foundation, I currently work with Kuorkor.
Okay.
Yes. I used to work. Last year I was elsewhere, so I used to be a banker. I used to work at Cow Bank. Yeah. So when I'm not with the J Foundation, I'm doing something else.
And why are you smiling plenty? So, and what was growing up like? This is just on a lighter note.
Yeah.
As we wrap it up.
Well, growing up was fine. I lived, guys, we like to live in the extended family.
Yes, it's always lovely.
Yes, so I lived with my cousins, uncles, aunties. So it was fun. So I grew up in the family, and I have a lot of family support.
Yes.
Yeah, my daddy had 9 siblings, so 10. Yeah, yes, yes. So I have a lot of family supporting my cause, or the cause that we embark on. Yes, so growing up was fun. I was the first amongst 4 kids. Okay. So there was a lot of pressure to set good examples.
I know, right?
To study hard and everything
and exceed.
Yes. So
succeed. Succeed, so that the rest can look up to you.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened with me. So I'm a bit prim and proper.
This is where we'll bring our conversation to an end. My guest has been Kuorkor Mayne Eghan, the founder of the J Foundation, Ghana's foremost preterm babies NGO. Don't forget to follow our discussions on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at WADR News. On Facebook, we are with Africa Democracy Radio English Service, and online at WADR.org. Also, leave me a message via WhatsApp on the number +221 7818 45421. The number again is +221 7818 45421. Thank you for tuning in. As the year draws to a close, I want to extend my heartfelt wishes to each of you. May the coming year bring you joy, peace, and endless opportunities. Thank you for being a part of our journey this year. Here's to new beginnings and a year filled with positivity and prosperity. Wishing you all the best. And remember to dream big. I am Nadidi Teti. See you next year.